Well, hello and welcome to this Divi theme tutorial. To make my life easier, and thus your lives as well, I compiled all the Divi tutorials from Elegant Themes into two separate videos. You're watching one of them. The other one, there's a link down in the description box, contains all the basic videos of Divi 1.0. This video that you're watching right now has all the tutorials of the new Divi 2.0 theme. But, for instance, in the first video there is the basics explanation of the page builder. So if you want to check that out, it's about a 22.5-minute tutorial, which is part of a almost 2-hour video with all the tutorials of the basics. You have to click the link below. You can find it in the description box. It's very well described, so it shouldn't be a problem to find it. In the description box you will find the links to the parts and sections of this video. So if you are looking into finding out how to deal with blurbs, if you don't know the word, I'm sorry, but you will find out in the tutorial what it's all about. You can find that link in the description box. All the sections are described, all the sections have a link. So if you click that link and the part of the tutorial starts at 36 minutes and 16 seconds, just a wild guess, then you will be taken to that part of the video and you can watch your tutorial. Below this video you will also see that the tutorials have the length of time that the actual tutorial is. So it's 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It will say next to the title in the description box that specific tutorial takes about 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It's all laid out very clear. Now you can just bookmark these two videos and you will have we actually have more than 3 hours, 3 hours and 20 minutes or something with all the tutorials of the Divi theme. You will also find the link to the forum in the description box or on my Google Plus page. If you have any technical questions, you can also go to the forum. This forum is awesome. Sometimes they answer within 1 minute. I'm not kidding. I've had this that I had within 1 minute 2 answers from the staff of Elegant Themes. So not just Joe Blow from Boston, but really, you know, like the personnel of Elegant Themes. This company is totally awesome. I can recommend them personally. I mean, I've worked with them for a few years. This theme tops it all. Dreamweaver, which is a program, you know, like to build websites, which has a very long learning curve. Forget it, you don't need it. The Divi theme does it all for you. So if you just start out with WordPress, this is the theme to use. You can do anything with it. You can build an e-commerce website. You can build a video website. You can build a blog. You can build whatever you want with this thing. So I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe to my channel, because then you will have more videos in the future. If there's anything coming out from Divi, you will find out through my channel. Again, these two videos are going to make your lives a lot easier, folks. So subscribe, and the video and the tutorials start right now.
Last year, we introduced Divi, a powerful new theme with a custom builder interface in an expansive suite of design elements all wrapped up in our clean and elegant style. Within a few days of its release, our customers were already using it more than all of our other themes combined, and we immediately started brainstorming on how we could make it even better. We wanted to improve the builder to allow for faster workflow and more complex designs, create a new and improved module set, add simple and intuitive theme options that create broad new layout possibilities, and finally, put our design under a microscope, scour it for flaws, and perfect every tiny detail.
We've added some really great things to the Divi Builder. In addition to being able to save and load layouts, you now have the ability to duplicate sections, rows, and modules instantly right inside the builder. This makes rapid prototyping so much easier. Possibly the most impressive feature of 2.0 is the addition of specialty sections. These sections give you an extra level of vertical division, allowing you to place sidebars next to complex column structures. Combine that with our new header options, vertical navigation, box layout, and custom background images, you can now do so much more than ever before with just one theme.
What makes Divi so awesome is its vast array of custom modules. Modules are like building blocks that can be arranged in your page to construct just about anything. In 2.0, we've introduced more of these building blocks and even updated some of our old ones. We've created modules that are fun, playful, and interactive. New, beautiful full-width modules take advantage of big screens to produce stunning visuals, and some of our classic modules have been updated with new features, such as easy use of our elegant icon font, integration with new systems such as Aweber, FeedBurner, Google Maps, and so much more.
This project represents a year of hard work from our team, and building this theme has been a lot of fun. But the best part is going to be seeing all of the amazing websites that you create using Divi. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to install your new theme. The first thing you're going to want to do is log into the Elegant Themes members area and download the theme. So go to elegantthemes.com and click Login. And then you're going to be presented with a list of all of our theme and plugin downloads. So find the theme you want to install, click the download button, and then select the theme package link. This will start a download to the theme zip file. Next, you're going to have to upload this zip file, so log into your WordPress dashboard. And once you're logged in, look for the Themes tab or Appearances tab, and then click the Themes link. Next, click the Add New button at the top here, and then click the Upload Theme button. Look for the Choose File button, click that, and this is going to open up a window to all your local files, so find that .zip file that you just downloaded. Here's mine, divi.zip. And press Open, and then click the Install Now button. This will upload and install the theme. Next, all you have to do is click Activate, and you're all done. And that is how to install a theme. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Theme Customizer. The Theme Customizer is where a lot of our design options can be found, such as your header options, navigation options, color options, font options, and so on. To find the customizer, look under the Appearances tab and click the Customize link. This will launch the customizer. You can see a preview of your website on the right, and then all of the Divi settings over here on the left. The settings are broken into several categories. Basic theme settings, such as box layout. Enabling a box layout will, instead of your site going full width, it'll be contained within a box. And then vertical nav, if you want your main header here, usually it's at the top. If you want to put it on the left, you can do that. So for example, selecting vertical nav will place the header on the left here. You can choose whether or not you want to show your social icons in the header. These social icons are defined in the ePanel theme options. And you can choose whether or not you want to show your social icons in the footer. You can also toggle on and off the search icon. And you can choose your header style as well. For example, by default, the logo stays on the left and the menu items go to the right. But if you want to center it, you can change it to centered. And you can see here my logo's been added to the center, and so is my nav. You can define a phone number and email. This contact information will be displayed in the secondary nav bar in the header. So when you define these options, like I said, they'll appear in a secondary nav bar. So if we save and publish, you'll see they've been added up here in the secondary nav. When you don't have any items to be displayed there, then this navigation bar goes away. So back to the customizer. You can also choose your color, primary text color. So both for the primary and secondary navigation bar. So primary being this white one, white at the time, and then the secondary being this blue one. So if you want to change the text color from light or dark, depending on what color you make these bars, you can do that. So right now, this is white, so we want our text to be dark, and this is a dark blue, we want our text to be white, so it shows up. But you can change that based on what colors you are using there. So speaking of colors, here are all our color options. So you can define an accent color, which is like the main highlight color that's displayed throughout the theme. Your main font color, default is gray, main link color, footer background, and so on. Primary and secondary nav, we were just talking about that, so you can see these settings can be changed, and as I change this color, so does my secondary nav bar. And as I was saying before, if you end up using this as a very light color, and you change your primary nav to be rather dark, in that case you probably want to go back here and change these settings so that your secondary nav is dark text, so you could read it, and your primary nav is light text, so you can read it. You also have font options, header and body font, so you can change those independently. Here is an example of a header, it's like the big text in the slider. You can change that text if you like. You can also adjust the body font to whatever you like. We also have some predefined color options if you'd like to pick from those. If you don't want to bother with choosing your own colors, we have some very common options there. Navigation bar, so there's 3 areas where you can add a menu to. The primary nav, which is like this white header here. The secondary nav, which is the blue area. And then your footer nav, which is down here. So if you define, right now you can create a menu in the appearances menu tab, and once you do, they'll show up here. So I've already created 2 menus. My main menu is being used here, and if I wanted to add a menu to the secondary nav, you can select it here, and you can add it to the footer as well. I'm going to save and publish, and you can see that the menu has been added up here as well as down in the footer. Static front page, you can choose what is displayed on your home page. So by default, when you install WordPress, it displays all your most recent posts. But if you'd like to display a page instead, like a page you built with a builder, you'd want to go in here and choose a static page, and then choose which page you'd want to use for your home page. And you can also add widgets to all the widget areas. And we have several widget-ready footer areas. Or if you've created a widget-ready area using the sidebar module, you can add modules to it here, or add widgets to it here. And that's a basic overview of the theme customizer. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the header and navigation options. These can be found inside the Appearances Customizer tab. So when you log into your WordPress dashboard, go to Appearances and then Customize, and this will launch the theme customizer. You can see a preview of your website on the right, and all your theme options within the customizer on the left. And there's a couple settings that apply to header and navigation specifically. So first of all, under theme settings, you can choose to have your header either be on the top or on the left. So if you enable vertical navigation, it's going to take your header and place it over here on the left instead. And this can really drastically change the feel of your site, which is really cool. I'm going to put it back at the top. And then if you want to, you can also choose how your text and logo is oriented. So if you choose center, it's going to center it, which is also pretty cool. Within the header, you can add contact info. So if you add a phone number, and these will display in the header. So for example, if I save and publish and take a look at my site now, you can see the contact info has been added up in the secondary navigation bar area. So there's several pieces of information that are relegated to this area. So if you enable a secondary nav or you add contact info, it's going to be displayed up here in a secondary nav. So just to keep things from being too cluttered. So there's certain things that will appear in your main nav area and certain things that will appear in the secondary nav. So we can go back to the customizer. You can also choose the text color for your primary and secondary nav bar areas. So depending on the colors you're using, you want to change your text to be either light or dark so that it shows up on the background color you're using. And then we can also go over various navigation options. So down in the navigation tab, we have some more options. So there's 3 navigation bar areas. We've already seen the primary one, which is where your logo and your primary nav is. The secondary nav, which is this blue area. So I can add a secondary navigation menu here. Once you've created a menu in the Appearances menu section in your WordPress dashboard, you'll have the option to apply it to either the primary or secondary nav area. So under the secondary nav option here, I'm going to select one of my menus, and here you go, it's been added to the top here to the right. And you can also add it to the footer. So select footer and scroll down. And yeah, here's been added to the footer as well. So there's 3 navigation bar areas. You can also adjust the colors of these, like I was saying before. So under the colors section, you can choose your secondary nav bar color. So you can see it changing here if I want to make it green instead of blue. And you can adjust the primary as well, whatever you want. And if I happen to make the primary a dark color like that, blue, you're probably going to want to go back to your theme settings and change your primary nav color to light so that your text shows up. There you go. So that's what those options are for. And that's a basic overview of the header and navigation options. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you the difference between the 3 different Divi section types. Now, a section is the most basic Divi building block, and if you want to learn more about the basics of the Divi Builder, be sure to check out the Divi Builder introduction video. As I said, sections are the most basic building block. You can kind of think of them as these horizontal blocks that stack on your page. So for example, this slider here is in a section, followed by this white section with a couple rows in it, followed by this green section and this gray section. Inside these different sections are different column types and then different modules. But before you can add any columns or any modules, you first need to add a new section. As I said, there's 3 different section types: the normal section, the full width section, and the specialty section. The difference of these are the normal section and the column layouts that you place within them will never expand more than 1080 pixels on your page. So for an example, here is a normal section with a 3/4 column and a 1/4 column. In my 1/4 column, in my sidebar, and in the 3/4 column, I have a slider. And the max it's ever going to span on the page is 1080 pixels. So it starts here and stops there, and that's it. Now, if you place this same slider inside of a full width section and use the full width slider module, it's going to look a little different. It's going to take advantage of this full width area of the screen, and it's going to span the entire width of the browser. Now, specialty sections add an additional layer of complexity. They allow you to embed various column layouts inside other column layouts, which is great if you want to achieve this sidebar effect, where you have this single column, this single vertical element that's spanning the entire width of these other column types. So I have this, for example, this is a specialty section with 2 sidebars, 2 1/4 sidebars, and inside of it I can have various other row types. I can have a full width row or a 1/2 row, etc. Alright, so here we have a blank page and we have a normal section laid down. When you first lay down your section, it's going to ask you to choose your different row types. There's an insert column button, and when you click that, you have your choice of all your different columns, all your different row types. Now, since we have a normal section here, we're going to get greeted with our normal row types. We have a full width 1 column row, a 1/2 row, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and so on. Every different combination of 1/3, 1/2, and 1/4. So if I were to add a, let's say a 2/3, 1/3 column, just an example. Now we can see our two columns here, and we are greeted with a new button that says Insert Module, and we can insert modules into those columns. So just let me add a slider module real quick. I'm not going to go into any detail here. If you want to learn more about the slider module, check out the slider module tutorial. Alright, I'm going to save that, and to the right I'm going to add some text. Okay, so I have a normal section and a row with the sliders to the left and some text on the right. Let's see what that looks like. If we update our page here, so you can see our slider has been added in this 2/3 column, and in our 1/3 column we have a little bit of text. And because this is a normal section, the max width of this area is going to be 1080, so it's not going to expand past like the normal area of the theme. Now, if we were to do a full width section, it's a little different. It doesn't have the concept of rows inside of a full width section because everything is full width. There's no columns. So as soon as you add a full width section, the first thing it's going to ask you to do is insert modules. And when you click that, you're going to get a new list of modules. These are our full width modules, and these only work inside of full width sections because they take advantage of that full width layout. So I'm going to try adding a full width slider. And again, if you want to learn more about the full width slider, be sure to check out the slider tutorial. It goes over everything you need to know. Okay, so I've added a full width slider to our full width section, and here we can see the difference of those. So the same slider placed in a full width section is going to look a little different. It goes full width and takes advantage of that full browser and the full screen. Now let's say in our normal section here I have this text module and this 1/3 column, and below that text I want to add two images, each of which will take up 1/2 the width of that 1/3 column and sit next to each other. So it'll be a piece of text and then two columns in a row right below that. Now if we were using a normal section, creating that layout would actually be impossible, because in order to add a new 1/2 row, if we did that here, it would actually be placed below both the slider and the text. So I'm going to add just an example. So now I've created our two images, each spanning 1/2 the width of the section. I'm going to update. So here's what that layout produces. But what I want these two images, I want these two 1/2 rows to actually be placed inside of this 1/3 row. I want two images right here and right there. Now this is where specialty sections come into play. The specialty section, when you add that, you're going to get greeted with a new set of row types, a new set of column types. So you can see the visual representation gives you a pretty idea of what you're going to have here. The orange part is kind of the main vertical element, or the sidebar if you want to think of it that way. And to the right, or in this case over here to the left of it, you can add different column layouts. So what I want, the layout that I want, is pretty much this one right here. We have our slider would be here, and then our text would be here, and the 2 images right there. So that's what I want to build. So I'm going to use this section type instead. And then we can just drag over our modules. So I want my slider to be on the left here. And over here, we have an add row capability. So this is where we can choose that 1 column row and then the 1/2, 1/2. So I'm going to take my text and put it there, and then my images, put them below. Get rid of that. If we update, you should see exactly what I was trying to create. There we go. So that's how you use a specialty section. If you need to place kind of these more complex, more advanced column layouts within each other, then check out all the different specialty section layouts that we have. And that's a basic overview of the 3 Divi section types. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Accordion module. The Accordion module is much like the Toggles module, except all the toggled items are connected, and only one can be opened at a time. So as you open a new item, the rest close like an accordion. These are great for FAQ sections. For example, let's say we have a little About Us page here. It's about our team, and I want to add some frequently asked questions that a visitor might have about the services we provide. So here's the builder representation of that page. And right below our team member bios, I'm going to want to add the Accordion module. So I'm going to add a new section, click Insert Columns. I'm going to choose the Fullwidth column, and then I'm going to click the Insert Modules button and look for that Accordion module. So here we go. I'm going to click Accordion. So there aren't many overall options when you first get greeted here, just the basic admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class. We don't need those right now, so I'm going to click Add New Item to add a new item to our accordion. The title is what will appear when the accordion is closed and open above the content. So in our case, this will be a question that someone might have. So someone might want to know, what is your refund policy? And then we'll provide the answer here. Click Save. So here one item has been added to our accordion. To add another one, click the Add New Item button again. Add a new question. What are Photoshop files? And provide the answer here. So now we have 2 questions in our accordion. I'm going to click Save. Oh, you can also rearrange these if you want to. You can drag and drop, and then it'll change the order. So okay, I'll click Save here. I'm going to update the page. Refresh. Scroll down here. Here our 2 items have been added. The first one is open, and as you open the second one, the first one closes. And you can add as many items as you want to that accordion to get an effect like this. And that's how you use the Accordion module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Audio Player module. The Audio Player module creates an audio player interface in the beautiful, clean style of Divi. Here's an example of an audio player module with a image to the side of it. Here's one with no image. As you can see, it changes its shape based on the column width. The audio player is great for bands or artists or even podcasters who want to display a single audio file and allow their visitors to listen to it. So here we have a basic page with the right sidebar, and I'm going to want to add the audio player to the left here within our main page content. Here's the builder representation of that page. So right above our text here, I'm going to click the Insert Module button and look for the Audio Player module. Once selected, the first thing you're going to want to do is upload your audio file. In this case, I have an MP3 file that I'd like to play, so I'm going to click the Upload an Audio File button and go to the Upload Files tab and select my file. Here it is. Once it's been uploaded, it'll appear in your media library, and then you're going to want to select it and then press the Set Audio for the Module button. Now you can add a title. In this case, this is going to be the title of the song. You want to add the artist's name. And if this is a part of an album, you can add the album name. You can also choose to add a cover art image, as you saw on the previous page. So let's try adding some cover art. I'm going to drag my file in here. There it's been uploaded. I'm going to click Set as Image. And you can also choose a background color. Shows a nice kind of orange-red color. Now you can also choose your text color. In this case, my background is a rather dark color, so I'm going to want to make my text light. If you had a very light background color, you might want to choose dark instead. And of course, you can add your admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class, which I'll leave blank for now. Okay, I've added my audio module. I want to have it above my text, so I'm going to drag it up there and update. And as you can see, after reloading the page, our audio module has been added. If you click play, the song will begin. You can adjust the volume, and as you can see, the cover art has been added here to the left. The cover art will change positions once you reduce down to mobile size, or if you've placed the module in a smaller size column. You can also choose to leave out the image, so let's see what that looks like. I'm going to edit the audio module that we just created, and I'm going to remove this image by simply deleting the URL there. Save. And after we update, you can see that the image has been removed. And that's a basic overview of using the audio player module. In this tutorial, I'll be going over the Blurbs module. The Blurbs module is a simple combination of text and imagery. For an example, here's a nice icon blurb. You have an icon, a title, and some content text. It's pretty simple, but it has a ton of great applications. For example, here's a little list we created of blurb icons. Here's some image blurbs, and so on. These are very common on home pages below sliders. For example, if you go to our Divi preview and scroll down below the slider, you'll see these 6 blurbs. It's just a great way to share some basic information about you or your company. So here we have a basic join page. We have this slider at the top. We have our pricing tables. And above these pricing tables and below the slider, I'd like to add 4 blurbs, some information about our company that's going to tell everyone how great we are and convince them that our product is right for them. So here's the builder representation of that page. Right below the slider, I'm going to click Add Section to add a new section. And since I'd like to have 4 blurbs, I'm then going to add a 4 1/4 column row into that section. Click the Insert Modules button and choose the Blurb module. Now each blurb can have a title. The title is displayed in slightly larger text than the body text. For this blurb, I'm going to say Amazing Design. This is one of our features. Now you can choose to link out that title and the blurb image to a separate URL. In this case, I don't want them to be clicking it. It's just purely informational, so I'm going to leave that blank. If you did, in fact, define a URL, you can choose whether or not that URL opens in the same window or opens in a new tab when clicked. Now, as stated before, as I showed you previously, blurbs are a combination of imagery and text, and you have 2 choices for your imagery. You can either upload a custom image from your computer, or you can use an icon from our elegant icon font. If you choose to use an icon, you can see here, use icon. If you select yes, then you're going to get greeted with a bunch of different icons from our custom icon font that you can use for this particular blurb. You can select one icon, so I'm going to choose this little image icon. Now, since we've selected to use an icon for this blurb, we have some more options to customize the appearance of that icon. You can choose the color. Right now it's a blue-green color, which looks nice. You can change that if you like. You can also choose whether or not your icon is displayed within a circle or not. If you choose yes for circle icon, you're going to get some more options to customize the color of that circle and to customize the border of the circle. So right now I have a blue-colored icon and a blue-colored circle. That's not going to look very good, so let's change my icon color to white. My circle color to blue, And if you chose circle, you can also customize the border. So I'm going to turn on the border here and then customize my border color. I'm just going to make it a slightly darker blue than we have right now. So now I have a white icon inside a blue circle with a dark blue border to it. Now you can choose the position of that icon / image. By default, it displays on the top above your content, but you can also have it display to the left. So I'm going to display it to the left, as you saw on our Divi demo page. You can also choose an animation. When you scroll down to the blurb, the image is going to animate in, and you can choose from which direction it animates. So I'm going to have it animate in from left to right. You can also choose your text color. Now because I'm placing this blurb on a dark background, or a light background, I'm going to want my text color to be dark. If you were placing it on a dark background, you'd want to choose light instead. Make sure your text is readable. You can choose your text orientation, left, right, or center. I'm going to keep it centered, and then you can input some content here. There we go. Join Elegant Themes today and make use of the most beautiful themes on the net. Save. There we go. We have our first blurb. Let's see what that looks like. And there it is. It's our first blurb in that first 1/4 column. The title, amazing design, the body text, and we chose to use an icon for the image. We chose a white color for the icon itself. We chose to have it be a circle icon. We chose a blue-green for that circle color. We chose to use a border, and we used a dark green for the border color. We also chose to have that icon appear on the left as opposed to having it appear on the top. So there's one example. Let's see if we play with those settings a bit, what other combinations we can make. So I'm going to duplicate that blurb and change some of those settings around just to show you what it might look like in other scenarios. Let's say we chose not to use a circle as a border. So here where it says circle icon, I'm going to say no for that. We just want to have a normal icon image, and I want that icon to be green. Going to update that, reload the page. There we go. You can see this icon is no longer in a circle because that's a little bit bigger, it's green, and it has no border. Now let's try putting that image, icon image on the top instead of the left and see what that looks like. I'm going to duplicate my blurb, edit the settings, and this time I'm going to change the icon placement to top and save. There we go, the icon has been placed on the top instead of the left. Now lastly, let's try using an image instead of one of our icon fonts. So I'm going to duplicate that blurb one more time, edit the settings. This time, where it says use icon, I'm going to say no. Now because I said no, all those icon settings, they go away, and we're greeted with a new option to upload an image instead. So I'm going to click the upload image button and choose an image icon to use. I'm going to set that as my image, save, update that, refresh, let's see what we have. There we go. Now I've added this image instead, this cool animated GIF, instead of using one of our icons, and I've chosen to place it on the top. And there we go. There's 4 different applications for the blurb icon, and that's about it. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the circle counter module. The circle counters, as shown here, displays a number of your choosing, and then animates the circle to fill to the percentage of your choosing. It's a great way to show stats to your visitors about your company or yourself. and in a fun and engaging way. So here's an example of an about our team page. And it's pretty basic. We have some stats about our team, call to action, and down here above a call to action, I like to use those circle counters to give some stats about our company. Here's the builder representation of that page. So right above our call to action, I'm going to add a new section, and I'm going to insert a 4 1/4 column row. And in our first column, I'm going to click the Insert Modules button and look for the Circle Counter module, which is found right here. Now you can choose a title for each counter, which will be displayed in smaller text below the number. For this first one, I'm just going to say Design, and the number. Now you can think of the number as a percentage, so the number will be a percentage out of 100. So if you want to say have the bar fill up 70%, then you want to type in 70 here. So the number here, I'm going to say 70. Now you can choose to turn the percent sign on or off. In this case, I want to keep it on. And you can choose the text color, which will affect the number and the title. In this case, I want my text to be light because the background of the section is going to be dark. And then you can choose your bar background color. This will affect the fill of the bar as the bar fills in. This color will be used for the positive value. You can also, of course, add your admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class, which I'll leave blank for now. And like I said, I want the background to be dark, so I'm going to adjust the background image of this section. And let's see what we have so far. I'm going to click Update. And as you see, I have a new section here in this counter, which counts to 70%, and the bar fills up 70% of the way. Now let's add a few more. I'm just going to duplicate these, fill them into our other columns. And just an example, I'm going to change the colors of these a bit. And update. And there we go. You can see we have 4 counters all counting up to 70%. Of course, you might want to adjust that percentage and the title to be relevant to whatever you're trying to represent. And then we've chosen some nice colors that look good against our purple background. And we've chosen light text so that our text shows up against this dark background color. And that's a basic overview of using the circle counter. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the countdown module. The countdown module simply counts down to a date of your choosing. This is a great way to create anticipation for a product you might be launching. For example, here I've begun to create a nice little splash page that will act as our coming soon page. We can send visitors to this page so they can see how close we are to releasing our new product. For example, here I'm going to create a splash page for Divi 2.0. Now if we go back to our builder for that page, the first thing you're going to need to do is add a new row. So I'm going to add a new row and click Insert Columns. In this case, I want my counter to expand the full width of the section, so I'm going to choose the single column row. Then I'm going to choose Insert Modules and look for the Countdown Timer module. There it is. Now you can give your countdown a title. So I'm going to say Divi 2.0 coming soon. Now I'm going to count down to a date. You have to choose a future date. So choosing May 21st. Done. Now you can choose your text color. Since I have my countdown timer on this deep purple, I'm going to choose to have my text color be light so it shows up well. You can also choose to add a custom background color. In this case, I'm going to choose no, since I just want my counter to appear right over that purple background. You can also, of course, add an admin label, CSS ID, or CSS class, which I will leave blank for now. And click Update. Let's take a look at our page now. You can see that a countdown timer has been added right below our Divi logo. It says Divi 2.0 coming soon, and it counts down from days, hours, minutes, and seconds, all the way down to the date that you chose. You can also choose to give it a background color. I skipped this step before, but let's take a look at what it would look like with the background color. I'm going to choose yes instead of no, and then choose a background color. In this case, I'm going to make it a light purple. And since I chose a light color, this time I'm going to make my text dark. Click Update. See what we got. There we go. And that's a basic overview of how to use the countdown timer module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Fullwidth menu module. Now the menu module lets you take one of your menus that you have created in the Appearances Menus tab in your WordPress dashboard and place it anywhere on your page using the builder. For example, on this page, if I wanted to add a secondary menu down here below our big splash image, I could do that. Or I could even disable our main menu on this page and have our main menu appear somewhere down lower on the page. So here we have the builder representation of that page I was just showing you. Now let's say I want to add a new menu down below our main splash header. I'm going to click the Add Fullwidth section button, and then click the Insert Module button, and choose the Fullwidth menu. You can choose your background color. So if you want to change the background color to like a dark gray, you can choose your text color. Since I chose a dark background color, I'm going to make my text light. And you can choose which way your text is oriented, left, center, or right. I'm going to keep it centered. And then you can choose your admin label, CSID, and CSS class, which I'll leave blank for now. So if we update this and take a look at our page, you can see that a new menu has been added down below. Now, you can also combine this with the blank page template feature to remove your main header and use only this menu module that we just added. So if you go down and look for the page attributes section when you're editing your page, and look for the template drop-down menu and choose blank page, and then update. We've now removed the main header in favor of using only our secondary navigation that we created with the menu module. This is a great way to create unique landing pages or unique home page. So you can keep your same menu that you'd usually have at the top, but just put it down lower on the page to give this main splash header more prominence. And that's a basic overview of using the menu module. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Fullwidth portfolio module. The Fullwidth portfolio module works just like the normal one, except that it displays it in a new full width manner. If you look at our Divi demo and scroll down on the home page, you can see an example of the full width portfolio carousel here. So let's go over how to create a portfolio. First thing you're going to need to do is add some projects. Now when you install Divi, you're going to see you have a unique post type called projects here, which will be used inside the portfolio module. So the first thing you're going to have to do is add some new projects. So go to projects, add new. I'm just going to add a quick test project here. Now for each project you're going to need to add a featured image, so scroll down and select the set featured image button and choose a featured image. This would be whatever piece of art or design that you're showing off in your portfolio, and publish, and there you go, you're done. Now if I go and look at all my projects, I've already added quite a few, so I already have a good portfolio going here. Now all I need to do is display these portfolio items using the portfolio module. So I have a page here already built called About Our Team. Here's our design team, and I'm going to display our projects here right above our call to action. Here's the builder representation of that page. If I scroll down to our call to action, I'm going to add a new full width section right above our call to action section. You need to use a full width section to use the full width modules. So once you add it, click the Insert Modules button, and then select the full width portfolio module right here. Now you can add a title, which will appear above your portfolio. I'm going to leave it blank. You can also choose a layout, grid, or carousel. A grid will display a full width grid with multiple rows, while a carousel will only display one row, which you can slide through. So for this example, you've already seen the carousel. I showed you that earlier on the demo. So this time I'm going to use the grid option. I'm going to select grid. Then I'm going to choose my category. You can choose any number of categories. I'm just going to choose one. You can choose whether or not to show your title and your date. These appear on hover when you hover over a project image. So if you want to disable these, you can. I'm going to leave them enabled. You can also choose your text color, which will affect the text color on hover. If you choose dark, then your text is going to be dark and the overlay is going to be light. And if you choose light, then your text is going to be light and your overlay is going to be dark. It really just depends what kind of aesthetic you have going on your page. In this case, I'm going to choose to have light text. If you chose carousel, then you can decide whether or not you want that carousel to slide automatically. We chose grid, so it doesn't matter. And then also you have your, of course, your admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class options, which I'm going to leave blank for now. Save. All right, you can see my portfolio has been added here. Now if we update and take a look at our page, you can see that now I have this full width grid of images here. If I click on any of these, it's going to bring us into the project page. And there you go. That's a basic overview of how to use the full width portfolio module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Filterable portfolio module. This module just works like the normal portfolio module, except that it adds filterable toggles for each category that you choose to display within the module. So here are the categories of portfolio items I've chosen to display in this module, and if I click on any of them, it's going to filter it out so it only displays the relevant portfolio items from that category. You can have a grid layout portfolio or a standard layout like this. So here we have a team page, and below our team member bios, I like to display some of our latest work using this filterable portfolio module. So go to the builder, and down below in our team bios, I'm going to click the Add Section button, and then insert a single column. Click Insert Module and look for that filterable portfolio module, which is right here. For layout, like I said, you can choose between grid and full width. I'm going to choose grid. You can choose how many items you'd like to display, and then you can choose which categories you'd like to include in the module output. Each of these categories will be a filterable toggle. Now each portfolio item in the list below the image itself will display both the title and the category that's been placed into. You can choose to display or not to display the category and the title for each project. Pagination: if the number of projects in your categories is more than the number of items you've chosen to display here, then you can choose to have it paginate. So you have a list of pages, you can flip through those pages instead of just cutting out the list completely. Text color: if you're using a light background, you're probably going to want your text to be dark. And if you're using a dark background, you want your text to be light. In our case, we're using a white background, so I'm going to keep it dark. Then you have your admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class options. So I've added that. I'm going to update and see what that looks like. And here you can see we have our filterable portfolio with my 5 items. And if I click on any of these, it'll only display the relevant items. And since I've chosen to paginate, because I have more category or more total items than 5 items, so in this case I have more than 5 items, because I've only chosen to display 5 items per page at a time, I have a pagination buttons down here, and I can go between our 2 pages. And that's how you use the Filterable portfolio module. In this tutorial, I'll be going over the image gallery module. The image gallery creates either a grid gallery of images or a slider of images based on a WordPress gallery that you make in the media manager. This is great if you want to display some photos or some of your artwork, but you don't want to make a project for each of those posts. Instead, you just want to make a normal gallery with images that will open up in a lightbox like that. So let's add an image gallery as an example. So I'm going to click Insert Columns. I want this one to go full width. I'm going to choose the one column layout. I'm going to click Insert Modules and choose the gallery module. First thing you want to do is click the Update Gallery button. And then you're going to want to look through your images or upload some images and select the ones that you want to have in your gallery. So I'm just going to select a few here. Then you're going to click Add to Gallery. Here's the 3 images I selected. I'm going to click Update Gallery. The next option is to choose your layout. So if you want it to be a slider, if you want it to be a grid. I'm going to keep it slider for now so we can see what that looks like. You can choose whether or not to show the title and the caption below the image. You can choose your text color. So if your gallery module is on top of a white background, you're probably going to want to use dark text. Whereas if you're using a dark background, you're going to want to use light text so your text shows up. And then we have our admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class options. So I'm going to take a look at this page now. So you can see we've created a nice big full width or one column slider out of those 3 images. Now we can also turn that into a grid as I showed you earlier. So I'm going to edit the settings here. I'm going to update my gallery. At any time you can update your gallery and add more images to it if you like. So I'm going to add one more image to my gallery. Now I have 4. Click Update Gallery. And then I'm going to change the layout to grid and click Save. And then we can see what that looks like. Refresh. There we go, just as I expected. There's a grid of 4 images. And when you click on any of these, they're going to open in a light box. And that's how you use the image gallery module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the image module. The image module, quite simply, allows you to add an image anywhere on your page. The image will automatically adapt to the column width that you place it in, and it will fade in as you scroll down from a direction that you choose. For example, here's a page that I'm building. I want to make an About Us page, and I have these 3 text blocks here. They're going to be bios about my team members, and I want to add a photo of all 3 of our team members above the block of text. Here you can see the builder representation of that page. Here are my 3 text blocks, and above each of these I want to add an image. So I'm going to click the Insert Modules button and select the image module. First thing you're going to want to do is upload your image or choose an image from the media gallery. So click the Upload an Image button. And in my case, I'm going to choose an image that I have here. There we go. There we are. So I've chosen my image. You get a little preview there. You get your alt text, which will appear for search engines or browsers that can't see the image. The alt text is like an alternate version of the text. So you should just put in a description of what the photo is. Lightbox. Here you can choose whether or not you want the image to open in a lightbox when clicked. If you select don't open in lightbox, then the image, it won't be a link, it'll just be a standard image. In this case, I'll select the lightbox option so we can preview that. Animation, you can choose how the image animates. Once you scroll down to it, you can choose from left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top, or just fade in with no movement or no animation. In this case, I'm going to go left to right. Then you can choose your admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class. I'm going to save that, and I want it above my text, so I'm going to drag it up above. And then we're going to do the same thing, we're going to add a couple more. And this time I'm going to choose not to use a lightbox. When you choose not to use a lightbox, you can choose a link instead. So if you want your image to link to an external page, you can input a link. So for example, if I just want to link to Google, then I can add that there. If you define the URL, then you can choose where that link opens, whether it's in the same window or in a new window. So if you want to link to an external resource, but you don't want anyone to leave your page, then you can choose to open the browser or open the link in a new browser tab. And then the rest of the images, or the rest of the options we already went over. And then I'll add one more. And there we go. I've added 3 images. The first one we've chosen to let it open in a lightbox. The second one we've defined a URL, and the third one we define no URL, in which case it'll just be an image without a link. So I'm going to update that. Refresh the page. So you can see they all fade in left to right, which is what we defined. This first one will open in a lightbox when clicked. The second one will bring us to Google in a new tab. And the third one is just a standard image. And there you go. That's a basic overview of how to use the image module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the login form module. The login form module basically creates a login form for your WordPress dashboard. This is great if you're using WordPress as a membership system of some kind, or if you have a bunch of contributors to your blog, or some other system where you have people that need to log in and you don't want to send them to the branded WordPress login form. You want to create your own branded login page and just make your site a little bit more cohesive. So here's an example of just a normal old page, and let's say we want to add a login form on our sidebar here. To do that, I'm going to click the Insert Modules button below the sidebar here and look for the login module. I'm going to click that. You can give it a title if you like. You can choose whether to redirect to the current page or not. You can choose a background, whether or not you want to use a background color. So in this case, I'll say yes, and I'll use a background color for this login box. And then you can choose a background color here. You can choose your text color. So if you've chosen a rather dark background color like we have, then you're going to want your text to be light. If you have a white background, for example, you probably want your text to be dark so it shows up. You can also choose the text orientation, left, right, or center, and keep it to the left. And then you can add some content which will appear below the title. So and then I'm going to save. So here we've added our login form. I'm going to drag it up above our sidebar and update. If we go back to our page and refresh, you can see that a login form has been added here. Looks nice. It's in the clean style of Divi, and it's going to log in to the WordPress dashboard. And that's how you use the login form module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Maps module. The Maps module allows you to add Google Maps with custom pins anywhere on your page using the builder. For example, here's a Contact Us page that I've built. Let's say I want to add a full width map right above the contact form and below our header. Here's our page in the builder. Now since I want to use a full width map, I'm going to use a full width section. The map comes both in full width and normal. So I'm going to click Add Full Width Section to add a section below our full width header. I'm going to click Insert Module and choose the Full Width Map module. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is choose a basic center location. So if you have multiple pins on your map, you're going to want to say they're all within one city. You might want to choose your center of the map to be the center of the city. or maybe you want to center on a certain pin. The map center address lets you choose exactly where the map is centered. So in this case, I'm just going to type in San Francisco, California. And then you click find, and you can see the map automatically finds the address based on the address you enter. Okay, so we've centered our map. Now we're going to add a new pin. At the top you're going to see an add new pin button. Click that. You can choose a title for your pin. Call it Our Office. And then you can choose a pin address. You can just type in your address just like you always would, and then click find. And there you go. It's found our office location here in San Francisco and added a pin to it. You can also choose to add some content, which will appear on hover when you hover over the pin. So this is our office. We are open 7 days a week. Please stop by. There we go. Save. There we go. I've added a pin to our map centered in San Francisco. I'm going to click save and update. Now when we view our page, you can see a full width map has been added to our contact page, giving our visitors a clear idea where we're located. Now if you click on the pin, you can see that the info we added in the content area appears, and you can close that. So that's how you add a full width map. Now let's say instead of adding a full width map, I wanted to add a regular map right to the right of our contact form here, instead of adding this other information about our physical location. So let's go back to our page builder, and I'm going to remove this map, and I'm going to remove these. No longer need those. And since I want the map to be 1/2 width, I'm going to add a new row and choose 1/2, 1/2 for my columns. I'm going to take that contact form, put it over there, get rid of this row. So now I have my contact form on the left in a 1/2 column, and I'm going to put our map on the right in a 1/2 column. Click Insert Modules, and then you're going to look for the map module. Select it. Just like before, choose your center address. Click Add New Pen. Whoops, put that in the wrong box there. Added the map pin address, click Find. It's going to find it. And you can add a title as well. Our office, just like before. We are open 7 days a week. Save. There we go. I've added a new pin. Let's try adding a second pin. You can click Add New Pin again. Maybe we have 2 offices, and this new office is on Market Street and 3rd Street. There we go. It finds the address at Market and 3rd here in San Francisco. This is our other location. Save. Now we got 2 pins. Scroll down. You can see they've both been added to our map. I'm going to save and update and take a look at what we got. Now you can see a map has been added in a 1/2 column to the right of your contact form. And that's a basic overview of using the Maps module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the number counter module. If you take a look at our Divi demo page and scroll down, you can see an example of the number counters on our home page. As you scroll down the page and you reach the number counters, they will count up to the number that you define. So here I have a basic About Our Team page, and I'd like to put some cool stats about our team in a way that's going to be visually compelling, and so I'm going to use that number counter. Here we have the builder representation of that page I just showed you. And I'd like to add our number counters below our team members area. So I'm going to add a new section here. I'm going to add 4 numbers, just like you saw in our demo. So I'm going to choose the 4 1/4 column row layout. And I'm going to click the Insert Modules button and look for the number counter module. Here it is. Select the number counter module. Now you can define a title, which is some smaller text that'll appear below the number. So for this one, I'm going to say a stat about our team. So team members, we have 25 team members. So for the number, I'm going to put in 25. Now you can also choose to turn on or off a percentage sign if you want to give some kind of percentage stat. In this case, I'm just counting our team members, so I'm going to keep it without the sign, so turn off the % sign. You can choose your text color, and I'm just going to keep it blue. So the counter text color is the color of the actual number that's being counted. As for your title, which appears below, you can choose to have that either light or dark. In our case, we're going to have a dark background color, so I want my text color to be light. So now we have a light title and a light blue number. And then you can define your admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class, which I'm going to leave blank for now. Save. So now I have my number counter added in my 1/4 column. As I said before, I want this to be a dark background color, so I'm going to edit my section and choose a background image for this. That's dark. Let's see what I want to use. Here we go. And set that as our background image. Save. And see if we can update and take a look at what we have so far. Scroll down here. You can see the number counts up to 25. Now, like I said, I want to add 4 of these, so to make things easier, I'm just going to duplicate this a couple times and add these numbers. And I'm going to edit each of these. Going to create a funny little stat about how much coffee we drank. 2,000 cups. That's a lot of coffee. Going to make this one purple. Next, going to add a stat about how many customers we have. Let's say we have 2,500 customers. I'll make this a orangish color. And next, let's say we have 2 office locations. There we go. I've added 4 unique stats about our company. Give them all a nice unique color. I'm going to click Update. Now when we scroll down, there we go. You can see we have our 4 numbers. They've counted up to the number we defined. And that's a basic overview of how to use the counters module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the subscribe module. The subscribe module connects to various newsletter mailing list systems, MailChimp, Aweber, and FeedBurner, and allows you to create opt-in boxes to collect subscribers for your mailing lists. You can see it makes a little opt-in box with a title, some descriptive text, and the name and email fields. And depending on which system you've integrated with and which list you've chosen, these people will get added to your mailing lists automatically. The first thing you need to do before you can create a subscribe box is connect your WordPress account with one of those 3 systems. So let's go over how to use MailChimp first. So the first thing you want to do is, under Appearances, click the Divi Theme Options link, which will bring you to this page, which is our ePanel Theme Options page. you scroll down on that first page, you're going to see the MailChimp API key box. You want to copy and paste your MailChimp API key there. If you don't know where to find your MailChimp API key, we have a link down below in the documentation. You can log into your MailChimp account and send your account settings, and you can create an API key there and copy and paste it. And after you added it, click Save down here, and then you'll be all linked up. So now that we've linked our account to MailChimp, we can add the subscribe module. So I'm going to add it down here below the blog, below my blog, so that people can subscribe to my newsletter and hear about my new blog posts. So I can click Add a Section, Insert Columns. I'm just going to do a full one column layout. Click Insert Modules, and then find the subscribe module, which is right here. Now we're going to use MailChimp this time, because I've already connected my MailChimp account, and because I've connected it, you can see I get a list here of all my lists that are in MailChimp. So I've created this Divi demo list. I'm going to select that. Now you can give your subscribe box a title, some button text. You can also choose whether or not you want to use a background color. In this case, my blog's on a white background and I want to make this pop out, so I'm going to choose to use a background color so that people really grabs people's attention. And if you choose to use a background color, the next option here allows you to select the color that you'd like to use. Because I've chosen a rather dark color, I want my text to be light. So here is the next option, the text color option. You can choose light or dark. If you're using very light color for your background, or if you're just on white with no background, you probably want to use dark text, but in this case, I'm going to be using light text. You can choose the text orientation, left, right, or center. And then you can define some more descriptive text, which will display below the title. And I'm going to save, update this page, and then take a look at our blog here. If I scroll down below the blog module, you can see the subscribe box that I've added here. So that's how you use MailChimp. Now let's go over how to use Aweber next. So back on the ePanel theme options page that we were at earlier, under Appearances, Divi Theme Options, you scroll down on that first page, right below the MailChimp API key box is the Aweber authorization box. Right here is a link. It says Generate Authorization Code. You want to click that link and it's going to prompt you to log into Aweber. Once you log in, it's going to give you a code. That's your authorization code. Just copy and paste that right in this box here, and then click the Make a Connection button. Then you're going to be linked up to Aweber. And then next time you create a subscribe module box, you're going to have Aweber as an option, and you're going to get all your lists just like we did with MailChimp. So let's go back to the page we were building. So let's go back to here, and this time I'm going to choose Aweber instead of MailChimp. And because I've linked myself up already, you can see here's a list of all my lists, and you can choose which one you want to use for the subscribe box. When someone subscribes, they're going to be automatically added to that list. The rest of the options are all the same. Finally, we have FeedBurner. So FeedBurner works a little differently. There's not like a linking method. You don't have to like authorize. Instead, you just type in your FeedBurner account name. So if we choose FeedBurner here, just type in your feed title. If you don't know what that is, there's a link here which will tell you how to find it. Just type it in, and then that's it. People who sign up will automatically get added to your FeedBurner email updates. And that's it. That's how you use the subscribe module. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the social follow module. The social follow module lets you create icon links to your various social profiles so that people can follow you on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, and so on. These icons are nice because they use our icon font. It's already integrated in the theme, so it's going to be very fast loading. And also, because we're using an icon font, we can customize a lot of the colors with theme options using CSS. So here's an example of some of the cool icons you can create when you customize the colors and shapes and so on. So here we have a blog, basic blog design. I have my blog module, and then on the left I have a sidebar. And I'd like to add some of my social profile links on the sidebar here so that people view my blog can easily connect with me. So here we have the builder representation of that page. And right here where we have our sidebar, I'm going to insert a new module by clicking the Insert Modules button. Once you click that, you're going to want to find the Social Media Follow module, which is down here at the bottom. Click that to bring up a few options. The link shape is the first one. You only have two options here, rounded rectangle or circle. Text color, light or dark. So if you have your social icons on a dark background, you probably want your text to be light. In this case, we're using a white background, so we want our text to be dark. You can choose whether or not the URL opens in a new window or the same window when clicked. And you can choose whether or not you want to display the word follow after the button, just to make it clear this is a follow button and not a share button. In this case, I want to turn that off, just keep it a little cleaner. And then you can choose your admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class. So once you've chosen your basic overall settings, you're ready to add a new link. So click the Add Social Network button up here, which will bring you to a new list of options where you can select your social network that you'd like to link to. And then you can input your account URL. So I want to link to our Elegant Themes account. Facebook.com/elegantthemes. You can choose your icon color. By default, we give you the color of that social network. So here's like the Facebook blue. But if you want to change that, you can. Click Save. So I've added one icon, the Facebook. I'm going to add one more. I'm going to link to my Twitter account. Twitter.com/elegantthemes. Like I said, by default, we give you the right color here, but you can always change it if you like to. Click Save. Next up, I'm going to add our Google Plus account. And I'm going to leave the color the same. Alright, let's save and see how that looks. Oh, I want to drag it up at the top actually, so I want to have it be above my sidebar, so I'm going to move that. So if you refresh, you can see that those links have been added here. They're in the rounded rectangle style, which we chose, but you can also choose to use circles, so let's try changing that to see what that looks like. I'm going to edit the social media module and choose circle for the link shape instead, and save. Update that and see how that looks. So here they're circles now, which looks nice. And you can also, like I said, adjust the colors. So these by default use the standard profile colors, but if you want to change those and make them all the same or make them match your design, you can do that as well. So I go in here and I want to change the color. Something similar to my header color, I can do that. Refresh the page, and there we go. So you have customized colors, they all look the same. Kind of matches my design a little better. And that's a basic overview of how to use the social follow module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Testimonial module. The Testimonial module lets you display a quote from one of your satisfied customers. You can add a photo of the person, their actual testimonial quote, add their name, their position in the company, and a link to their website. All of these are optional. You can also choose to display a quote icon. So if you don't have a photo, it's nice to put a quote icon there so it's kind of obvious that it's a quote. Yeah, so here's a join page that I'm creating. And down here below the pricing tables, I want to put some testimonials from our customers that are telling everyone how great our product is to help improve the conversion rate of this page. So here's the builder representation of that page, and down here below the pricing tables, I want to add a new row to house my testimonials. So I'm going to add a new row, and I'd like to add 3 of them, so I'm going to do the 3 1/3 column row. And in my first column, I'm going to click Insert Modules and choose the Testimonial module. The first thing you can choose is the author name. You can put in their job title, the company name, and the URL of their company or their website. Now each of these things are optional, so if you don't want to include their job title, their company name, or you don't have this information, that's fine. Just leave it blank and it won't show up anywhere. Now if you have defined a URL for their company, you can choose whether or not you want that URL when it is clicked to open up in the same window or a new tab. So since I'm making a join page, I don't really want people to leave the page. I'm going to have this link open in a new tab. Now you can also define a photo for the person that's giving the testimonial. So I'm going to click Upload Image and pick an image for this person. You can also leave this blank if you don't have a photo, that's fine. And you can also choose to enable or disable the quote icon. Now since I've uploaded a photo, I'm probably going to hide this because it looks a little better to not have both the quote and the portrait visible. So I'm going to make the quote icon hidden. And then we're going to copy and paste in the quote and save. All right, so we've added one testimonial. Let's add another one. This person's name is Sally. She's a graphic designer. Open it up in a new tab again. Going to define a photo for her testimonial. Going to keep that quote icon hidden and save. All right, going to add one more. This time I'm not going to upload a photo. Say I don't have a photo for him. And I'm going to keep the quote icon visible, so we'll see what that looks like. All right, so we've added our 3 testimonials. I'm going to update. And let's take a look at our page now. So you can see when I scroll down below our pricing tables, I've added these 3 testimonials. First one and the second one have a photo portrait. The third one has the quote icon instead. Each of these link out to the company URL, and they're going to open up in a new tab, as you can see. You can always go back to the old one. And that's how you use the testimonial module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Team Member module. The Team Member module is a great way to create a little bio about a person. For example, if you had a About Our Team page and you wanted to show off all of your great team members, the Team Member module will be the perfect way to do that. It consolidates a photo, the person's name, their position, a little info text about them, as well as their social profiles. And it just kind of looks a little bit nicer than if you were to try to compile these with all different modules. So here we have, I'm starting to create a little About Our Team page. I have a call to action, some stats about our team, but I want to add now the bios of our team members. Here's the builder representation of that page that I just showed you. So right above our header, I want to add a bio of our 3 team members. So I'm going to add a new section and then insert 3 1/3 column row. And in our first column, I'm going to select the team member module. Here it is. Name, Nick Roach. Position, owner/founder. I'm going to select an image, profile image for this person, which is me, but unfortunately I don't have an image of myself here. But I'll use this one instead. You can choose the animation for the image. So as you scroll down the page, the image will load in and it's going to slide in from a direction of your choosing. I'm going to choose left to right. You can choose your text color. In this case, our team member module is going to be on top of a white background. And since I want our text to show up well, I'm going to choose to have a dark text color. You can add your Facebook profile URL, Twitter URL, and Google Plus URL. I'm just going to add some placeholder URLs for now, and then a little bio about who I am. There we go, a little bio about myself and why I created the company. Click Save. And let's see what we have here. There we go, we can see our first team member has been added. Now, I'm going to add 2 more. To make things easier, I'm just going to duplicate that first module and drag the duplications over to their respective locations. You can edit each of these. Add in our community manager, Mitch. Select an image for him. And save that. Gonna edit this one. Can he sing? Our lead designer. Gonna choose a profile image to use for him. Click Save. Now let's update and see what we have. There we go, we've added 3 of our team members to the top of our page. Customize their name, their position within the company, their bio text, and in this case, I just added some blank URLs for our Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn profiles, but you could add actual links for that, and if you don't want to include those, simply leave the fields blank. And that's how you use the team member module. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use Divi's post formats. Whenever you make a new blog post, you can choose from 6 different post formats that will tailor your post around a certain media element. You can choose from video, audio, link, quote, gallery, and then a standard article. So here's an example of each of those. Here's a video. You can see a video is being featured in the thumbnail, normal thumbnail area. Here's an example of an audio post format. It displays an audio player at the top, which will play an MP3 file of your choosing. You can choose link post format, which will feature a link. A quote, they'll put a big stylized quote at the top of your post. A gallery will be a slider of images. And then here's just a standard post with a thumbnail, title, metadata, and your post content. If you go over here, here's an example of just a bunch of standard posts. So let's try changing one of these to a different post format. So here I'm in the post editor. Whenever you create a new post or edit a post, look for the format box on the right here. Open that up and you can choose from any of the 6 post formats. You can see standard has been selected. So let's try changing that to video. Once you choose one of the post formats, you're going to have to add the media element to feature. So I've chosen video. Next, I'm going to have to add a video to my post. Now Divi will choose the first video from your post and feature that video. Luckily, WordPress makes it really easy to embed YouTube and Vimeo videos. So just go to a YouTube video that you want to share, copy and paste the URL, and then paste the URL into the post editor like that. And once you've done that, once you've selected video post type, post format, and you've added a video to your post, click Update. I'm going to refresh the page here, and you can see here that this post has been turned into a video post. That video, the first video in the post, has been selected and featured. Alright, let's try a new post format. Audio works the same way except with audio files instead of video files. So I'm going to remove this video, and instead I'm going to upload an audio file. You can do that using the WordPress media editor. Just click Add Media, and then upload your audio file. So here I have song.mp3. I'm going to upload that. Once it's been uploaded, click Insert into Post. You can see it's been added here. So I've added my audio file, I've selected the audio post format, and Divi's going to take that first audio file and feature it. So let's refresh. There you go, you get an audio player, and if you click that, you'll hear your song. Alright, next up is quote. So again, this works the same way. Divi's going to take the first block quote on your post and feature that. So I've clicked the quote post format. Next, I'm going to add a quote here. So let's say I want to create a quote out of this. I'm going to go to the visual editor, it's a little bit easier. So let's highlight your text you want to quote, and then click the block quote link up here, and that's going to turn it into a quote. If you're in the normal text editor, then you can just wrap your text that you want to quote in the block quote / block quote brackets like that. Okay, so once you've selected the quote post format and you've added a quote to your post, update it, and Divi's going to take that quote and feature it just like that. Okay, let's try gallery. Again, it works the same exact way as all the other post formats. Once you've selected your desired post format, you want to, well, in this case is gallery, so we're going to want to add a gallery to our page to feature, and Divi's going to grab the first gallery in the post and put it at the top of your post. So to add a gallery, click Add Media, and then you can create a gallery over here on the left. Click Create Gallery. Just select some images that you want to put in your gallery. I've selected these 3, and then select Create New Gallery. So I have a gallery, here's my 3 images, and then click the Insert Gallery button. Here our gallery's been added, so we have a gallery in the post. We've selected the gallery post format. I'm going to update it, and take a look. So here we go, it's created a slider out of our 3 images. The final post type is link, so I'm going to get rid of this gallery. So link post format, it's going to grab the first link and feature it. So I've selected the link post format. Now I just need to add a link to my post. Select the text you want to link, click the link button. Just going to add a link to Google, add the link. So I have the first link in my post is here, it's google.com. Going to update. Refresh. There we go. Added that link to the top of the post. And that's how you use the 6 post formats that come with Divi. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the blank page feature. Now normally when you create a page using Divi, you always have your header, navigation, as well as a footer area with your footer widgets and your social media links. But if you want to create a page and remove these features, that can be done using the blank page feature. Some use cases for that would be, for example, a coming soon page or a splash page of some kind. You can see here the header and the footer have been removed to give focus on just the content that you've built on this page with the builder. So to do this, all you need to do when you create or edit your page is look for the page attributes box here, and then look for the template. These are the available page templates, and you're going to want to select the blank page. Normally the default is the default template, which includes the header and footer, but if you select that blank page and then click update, it's going to remove those items. And that's how you use the blank page feature.